Hello and welcome. So, this is my TVR Tuscan 6-speed, and it's not the best thing to look at, but I mean, who cares when it has 1,000 horsepower? Now, you might be asking yourself, how am I gonna do that? The standard TVR motor can't do that. Exactly. That's why we are engine swapping this. We are taking the motor from the Camaro ZL1 and slapping it into the TVR. So, keep in mind, the TVR weighs about 1,100 kgs and 1,000 brake horsepower. This seems like a recipe for death. I feel like if I don't tune this right, it's gonna send me flying into a wall. So, let's now just drop 200,000 watt of upgrades into this motor, and let's see what performance specs we actually get out of this vehicle. Now, we already know about the 1,000 brake horsepower. Well, I mean, it's 955 brake horsepower, but it weighs less than 1,000 kgs now, so it's basically a Koenigsegg 1-to-1. If you think about it, we can. No, okay. I decided to jump head first into a race and just get a feel for the vehicle out on track. Now, straight away, the brakes basically non-existent. You need to brake really early because the brakes aren't really up to standard. Now, I have the racing brakes on it. I think the slotted ones. I don't have the carbon brakes on. Personally, I don't see a difference. If you see a difference, please let me know what is the difference, because personally, I don't see anything. But enough about brakes. The car, straight away, trying to get used to it. The handling, I needed to just do some small tweaks to just make it perform so much better. But I mean, this car's acceleration, its power outputs, wow, genuinely, the power comes on, so it's just a surge, it's a wave of power. Next thing you know, you're doing 300 kilometers per hour, which is, it's mental. So I just want to apologize for the terrible driving that you are witnessing on screen. This is my first time going around the circuit, new car. I'm trying to get a grip to the car, and I'm not really paying attention to what's going on the circuit or where the circuit actually is. Hence why I'm basically just running off every single turn and barely keeping any control of the vehicle. But as you can see from the little red light of the traction control, this vehicle is very powerful. It will spin the wheels all the way up into 4th gear. Now, this vehicle, you kind of need to run with traction if you don't know how to throttle control it. Me, I just want to push it as hard as possible and see what I can get. This is a maxed out version of the car. No power restrictors, ballast, nothing. This is a car fully maxed out, and I want to experience it and see, hey, what kind of a beast it actually is. And the second lap, once I've figured out, okay, where the track is going, and secondly, how the car actually handles when I need to brake, you start to realize what kind of an animal you are actually dealing with. Because coming down the back straights, it's a downhill, so you're going downhill, the power is kicking in, and it's just such a wave, it's such an experience. It's something else. I know I'm basically rambling on, so I think we're just gonna move on. Quarter mile time. Let's see how fast I can make it down the strip. Now, I knew as long as I nail the launch and just balance the throttle, it shouldn't be anything too difficult. Now, this car, it's perfect. I didn't even change the gear ratio. It's a fully customizable transmission, but I haven't touched it. I just left it alone, and the car just goes. The gears are perfectly set up. If you do full throttle it, then the car is gonna start snaky and going all over the place, and you're not gonna set a fast time. This is a no-brainer. So After a few runs, I was able to manage a quick time. I was able to set a 10.3 second quarter mile time, which from my experience is quite fast for majority of the cars in the game, which have a lot of power. Sometimes either struggle to put it down and make an 11-second pass. So 10.3, not bad at all. Now that we know what its quarter mile time is, now let's see what top speed we can reach. As you can see, we're already doing over 400 kilometers per hour coming out of the tunnel. That is impressive, because how many vehicles do you know of that can do that? Exactly, there are a lot. On to top speed, the car really started to limit itself and reach its highest, its climax, when it hit 434 to be exact, before we started our climb up the hill. Now 434 kilometers per hour, nothing to better than i2. So if you are looking for a fast straight line car, the TVR is what it's built for. Now, fun fact, now it is time to see how good the TVR is in making you some money. So the race that I'm gonna do is the 30 minutes of Le Mans. That is the 700 pp event. So I had to quickly try to get a tune, because at the moment the car stands at 814 performance points. So after a few minutes of just tweaking here and there, we finally got down to 700 performance points. Now the TVR is no RX-8 or RX-7 with a 787B swapped into it. This car drinks fuel. It finishes the fuel very fast. Now with your fuel map on 6, you manage to complete a lap by using about 34% of your fuel. So you can push it to do 2 laps. However, I do not recommend, because it also eats its tires. I mean, it has a big V8. Of course it's gonna be dusty. So on the hardest difficulty, I was able to get it done. I was able to bring it home. Now top speed wise, this car is rather fast compared to the AI, as this car can actually top out at over 300 kilometers per hour coming down the main straights. And this is with a standard transmission. I had to put the standard transmission in to bring it down to 700 performance points. So overall rating of the TVR Tuscan 6-speed, which is actually a 5-speed, it's okay. I mean, it has 1000 horsepower, which is fun, but there are better cars to drive in the game, and it's just not that exciting. And with that being said, I think I'll just wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Don't forget, leave a like and subscribe for more Gran Turismo 7 content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.